Arjan, Pogo early stream, Pogo. Spicy. Hassle. Has Porgies any hogs in chat?
What's going on, everybody? I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening, afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the world. I'm Hassan Piker, and this is the Hasanabi broadcast coming to you live from cold and kind of cloudy California, Los Angeles. We are live and alive, folks. And guess what? I am actually earlier than usual, earlier than ever. It is 10:41 a.m. on a Tuesday, February 9, 2021. And the reason why I'm early is because there is currently an impeachment trial happening in the Senate. It started already. And I also did not want to keep the daycare children outside in the cold for too long. Now, I know this is usually the time of the broadcast where I give you the personal news and what's going on in my life, but there really isn't anything going on outside of the fact that I am loving the No Pixel roleplay streams. I'm very excited to go play some more roleplay later with some friends. We're as a server, it's starting to get to the groove of things. There's going to be more crime available tomorrow. I decided not to run for mayor And I think that a lot of people are enjoying it. So we're just going to get to... yeah, I'm going to do more crimes instead of do politics in the no pixel roleplay. So... regardless, though, roleplay has been one of the first kinds of streams that I've done gaming wise that keeps the politics frogs very highly entertained, because it does set up a lot of sequences similar to the Mafia or similar to like Sopranos, but funnier because we're fucking really bad. Someone described my roleplay as Sopranos meets Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But that's not what we're going to be doing right now. That's personal news stuff. We are going to go directly into... I wish you didn't stream as much so I can catch up on the RP. If you want to catch up on the roleplay, there's a Wikipedia page that's like a couple pages long, but you could easily catch up there. There's like... some of you guys are meticulous note takers, and my no pixel Wikipedia page has a crazy amount of information on it. Like pretty much every single thing that's happened, my no pixel fandom page has. Yeah, it's nuts. It's like, I don't know how to describe it, but here it is. This is the no pixel Wikipedia page with like literally every single thing that's gone on, including like getting away with it, you know, going on, meeting girls, the Porsche plan, and then even ending up with the murder of, well, not my first murder, but also my second murder as well. I've murdered 2 people already on the server, and that's like a rare occurrence because there's like actual punishments that's dished out for murder. Like you can go to jail, you can... Anyway, regardless, that's the personal news stuff. I'm going to tweet out to the Normans and welcome them into our home because the Senate impeachment trial is already here. So let's get started immediately. We're going to watch the Senate impeachment. I'm going to cut in and out of the impeachment trial if it gets like really boring or really sleeper. We'll talk about a bunch of other stuff that's going on, like the $1,400 stimmy talks and the minimum wage talks that are ongoing currently. Let the Normandy invasion begin. You know, let your friends know, let your family know. And here it is. Daycare is open. We are live. Daycare is open and open early for the Senate impeachment trials. We are live viewing it. So get in now. If it's sleeper, we shall move on. Go, go, go. www.twitch.tv/Hasanabi. Okay, there it is. There it is. There's that little weird thing that I do when I start doing an accent, and then it gets stuck in my head, and then it starts like slipping in to my regular conversations, which is really weird, but what are you gonna do?
After our country had ratified our Constitution, there was a senator from Tennessee by the name of William Blount who was caught conspiring with the British to try to sell Florida and Louisiana. Ultimately, President Adams caught him. He turned over the evidence to Congress. 4 days later, the House of Representatives impeached him. A day after that, this body, the United States Senate, expelled him from office. So he was very much a former official. Despite that, the House went forward with its impeachment proceeding in order to disqualify him.
Today is about the constitutionality of the argument, which will be a little bit more boring, as Chuck Todd said. And if Chuck Todd, I'm gonna be honest, if Chuck Todd says this is gonna be drier, then it's gonna be fucking dry. But it doesn't matter because the constitutionality of this conversation is completely intact. This is the most constitutional thing that you can do. I just tweeted that I'm live. Like, this is perhaps the most constitutionally sound argument that you can make if we don't have an argument for impeaching presidents even after their terms of run out. in an effort to make sure that they can't run again, for example, and also to set a precedent that you can't, I don't know, do an insurrection, then there is no reason for the Constitution, which, by the way, I don't really think. I don't really care. I think that the Constitution is garbage for the most part anyway. It's what you make of it. It's how you interpret it, and people usually bastardize it. It's like any sort of, it's like scripture at this point, right? So it is completely sound to make this argument. You can't make this argument anywhere else. People are going to try to say that this is a freedom of speech violation. I mean, what? Presidents can't just have the perfect rally. I mean, that's what Corey Lewandowski was saying on Newsmax. Completely fucking ridiculous argument. Impeachment is a political process. It's not like Donald Trump is going to jail for creating an insurrection. He's just being barred from ever serving ever again, and also going down in history as a president who has been impeached not once but twice, even though I don't believe that he will be convicted in the Senate regardless. Okay? I don't know. I do not think that he's going to get impeached. I think the Republicans are cowards, and every single day that we move away from the events that took place on January 6th, every single day that we move away from the events, it is less likely that Republicans will turn around and do the right thing. Never expect them to do the right thing out of a moral conviction, because these are demons. They are politicians. They have no morals. If they did, they probably would not be politicians. Let's be real. The more we move away from the events that took place, the more clouded the memory gets. We all have goldfish memories in the media. The media cycle is just like, 3 days of action at the very most, and then we forget about it. So that's what I believe. Everyone's afraid of the Pinche Trumpers. These politicians belong in Los Santos. Yes, I am early today. The reason why I'm early is because of this, because the impeachment trials are happening.
The Belknap case is clear precedent that the Senate must proceed with this trial, since it rejected pretrial dismissal, affirmed its jurisdiction, and moved to a full consideration of the merits. Now, Belknap ultimately was not convicted, but only...
Here, by the way, here is the impeachment schedule that looks like currently. There's going to be a 4-hour debate and vote on the trial constitutionality. And then after that, there's going to be a 16-hour presentation per side. Okay, there's going to be 16 hours allotted for a presentation for each side. And then 4 hours for questions, followed by the debate and a vote to call witnesses. And then finally, 4 hours of closing arguments. Now, that's why it's going to take a long time. This is going to be like a week-long process. It's not going to be a day or 2 days. It's going to be a little bit longer than that. So, but today is about the constitutionality and whether it's constitutionally intact or not, whether you can actually impeach a president for doing an insurrection, for causing an uprising, and also can you actually impeach a president for
very much
is it an impeachable offense to cause an uprising, which is funny to say like that, right? Like, but that's literally part of it. And is it constitutional to impeach someone who is no longer a sitting president? So those are the two things that that we're going to be discussing today. Okay? And it's bullshit because yes, it is of course completely constitutional. Is there a point to this impeachment? We all know what's going to happen. All the Democrats are going to vote A, and the Republicans, with maybe a few coming over, but not enough, and they aren't going to get the votes to keep him from running again. Just because something is unlikely should not prevent you from doing it. Especially if you believe in the institutions, and if you believe that like these institutions should have some form of legitimacy, and if you believe that like it should be on the record that Democrats at the very least tried to do the bare minimum, which is literally trying to impeach this person and then moving it on to the Senate, regardless of how demon-like the Republican Party is going to be, you shouldn't stop yourself. You should, one, absolutely push for the impeachment and make an argument as to why you should, And you should also apply public pressure on top of that to truly campaign behind forcing this impeachment conviction. You should. You absolutely should do that. And the reason why you absolutely should do that is because, like, and I mentioned this yesterday, you have to completely exert and exhaust every avenue you have in these sorts of situations in order to prevent a worse situation happening overall in the future, right? If you don't want another insurrection as president, then at the very least you should have a clear-cut precedent now, well established, that this President Donald Trump at the time, tried to push for an insurrection and he got impeached for it. So you can't do that, and that might not be completely effective in the long run. It probably won't be. Whoever is going to be the actual fascist and not just a proto-fascist like Donald Trump, who's just narcissistic, is going to say, fuck off, I don't give a shit, whatever, martial law declared, fuck you. But that should not prevent you from setting up yet another hurdle to make it as hard as possible for people to do these sorts of things in the future. I think the reason why you do something like this is to make sure that the state machinations are still at some level enforcing accountability. Whether it's bullshit accountability or not, it doesn't matter. Look at this 15K Andy with Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, no. I hope my massage offer didn't creep you out. Ugh. Yeah. All right, let's start. So here are some highlights of what we saw already.
Mr. President, distinguished members of the Senate, good afternoon. My name is Jamie Raskin. It's my honor to represent the people of Maryland's 8th Congressional District in the House and also to serve as the lead House manager. And Mr. President, we will indeed reserve time for rebuttal. Thank you. Because I've been a professor of constitutional law for 3 decades, I know there are a lot of people who are dreading endless lectures about the Federalist Papers here. Please breathe easy, okay? I remember well W.H. Auden's line that a professor is someone who speaks while other people are sleeping. You will not be hearing extended lectures from me because our case is based on cold, hard facts. It's all about the facts. President Trump has sent his lawyers here today to try to stop the Senate from hearing the facts of this case. They want to call the trial over before any evidence is even introduced. Their argument is that if you commit an impeachable offense in your last few weeks in office, you do it with constitutional impunity.
He's right. I mean, that's basically what the Republicans are saying. Basically, what the Republicans are saying is like, you know, it's called God mode. In the end of your lame duck session, or in the end of your presidency in general, especially in the end of your lame duck session, you have what is known as God mode, where you can do whatever the fuck you want. And because, you know, they've previously argued that the presidents can't be fucking, it can't be criminally charged with anything while they're the president. They can't be, it's like a double bind where you can't be criminally charged with anything while you're president. Also, you can't really be impeached because there isn't time to impeach you. So, you know, the last week of your presidency, you can do whatever the fuck you want, okay? And that's hilarious because if there's one thing that the motherfucking framers cared about, it was tyranny, right? Like that is the mythological argument that those who have sex with the Constitution make all the time. Oh, this is all about tyranny. This is all about pushing against tyranny. And it's like, well, there is nothing more tyrannical than literally allowing the president to do whatever the fuck they want and tell people that it is actually constitutional for them to do whatever the fuck they want as long as it is in the tail end of their administration. It's nuts. By the way, Female streamers aren't the only ones who get fucking weirdo psychos like this. I just wanted to let you know. Like, you know, I ban fucking weirdo creeps as well.
You get away with it. In other words, conduct that would be a high crime and misdemeanor in your first year as president, and your second year as president, and your third year as president, and for the vast majority of your fourth year as president, you can suddenly do in your last few weeks in office without facing any constitutional accountability at all. This would create a brand new January exception to the Constitution of the United States of America.
It's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. Hey,
thank you very much.
Hey, it's a cheat code, okay? It's literally God mode. You can do whatever the fuck you want in the last week of your presidency. And then they had a really long fucking video clips session that I watched, but there's a lot of stuff that's graphic in it, so I'm not going to go over it again. But you've already seen the videos. You've already seen most of the videos. I'm not going to show you the clips, but it's just like, it's literally all the fucking clips from that day put together. And it was just like, you know, like hog insurrection, gone sexual, oops, you know, social experiment, tried to get all my followers to storm the Capitol, gone sexual, that sort of thing. Like basically that was what it was. It was hogs gone wild. So show the damn clips. I want to see myself. I want to relive the memories, brother. It was great. It's a good visual timeline. I know, but we've already seen it like a million times on this show, man. I don't know what else you want. All right, we can watch it.
I love Pennsylvania. And we're going to the Capitol. So we're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania. And we're going to the Capitol. And we're going to try and give our Republicans, the weak ones, because the strong ones don't need any of our help. We're going to try and give them the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country. Get the fuck out of here, you
Majority Leader.
We're debating a step that has never been taken in American history.
Now, here's a two-parter. I got to mention this. So, Mitch McConnell is, well, he's kind of a piece of shit. Why is he a piece of shit? Well, we already know he's a piece of shit. He's the worst person. He's one of the worst people in the country. But Mitch McConnell very successfully pushed the impeachment trial beyond Donald Trump's. I mean, there was a multitude of different factors that played a role here, but McConnell also was one of the people that pushed the Senate impeachment to beyond Donald Trump's presidency. There was also the Cash Act and more important things going on at the time. And this would have taken priority over that. So I'm kind of glad that they did. I don't want the full longer version that's 13 minutes long. And yeah, I don't know where the fucking gunshot is. But before I continue on with this video, I got to hit that top of the hour, every hour, first ad of the day. Okay? So I'm going to run that right now. And hopefully, I don't know if it's in this one or not. But if you no longer want to see the ads, you already know. You can subscribe with your Twitch Primes and whatnot. Here's the ad.
President Trump claims the election was stolen. The assertions range from specific local allegations to constitutional arguments to sweeping conspiracy theories. But my colleagues, nothing before us proves illegality anywhere near the massive scale that would have tipped the entire election.
I'm loving him, brother. All I'm seeing are a bunch of patriots doing patriotic things. These cops must have been Antifa. Is this the one where no Trump, no peace? Is this the one where they show the insurgents reach the door of the House chamber? House members remain inside. Is this it? Representatives evacuate the floor of the House. Members of the House gallery are not able to get in until minutes later. Okay, I'll skip this part because there's like, they just straight up show. Oh, here. Oh, here it is. This is it. They're just basically showing it like, I understand. From what I understand. Damn, this is good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of videos that we haven't seen from before. Oh, they literally... Oh, they just showed Ashley Babbitt is shot and killed. Yeah, they literally just showed it. They just showed her, like, the events. I mean, it's here. I'll just show the moments before she gets shot and killed, but I won't show you the actual thing because I've never seen this video before. And there's no blood, but you see a Secret Service member with a gun. You see them breaking the window, and as soon as she goes over the window, boom, like immediately shot. They don't show any blood or anything, but still, I just want to be safe. Do they show her again? I saw the whole thing. There's no blood. It's just a gunshot, and then she falls. It's crazy that this video can be shown on C-SPAN, but not Twitch. I wish they'd give more leeway on news type videos. Yeah, I know, but I don't want to fuck it up. You know what's funny to me? You're here on Twitch preaching on a socialist revolution, how bad the capitalist system is, where you're going anywhere except putting your qualified opinions out at the same time you're sitting home making meals a year. You aren't doing anything impactful with your money. Do not say, but I am donating to charity. What's going on today? Are there, did something happen where, like, there's a bunch of fucking weirdos? Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, yes, socialism means you have to be poor, and the poorer you are, the more socialist you are. Capella debate yesterday about the socialist and a capitalist society meme. Really? Ugh. 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 Anyway, let's keep going. I thought we purged most of the fucking weirdos from the community, but I guess not. Is there more blood? I'm still scared that they're gonna, like, go back to the Ashley Babbitt video or something. All right, well, there is no more blood here. Never mind. Okay.
Stay down! Get down!
Where the
Yeah, why aren't they here? You know, so we can ask them questions like, with my flex cuffs.
There's gotta be something in here we can fucking use against these scumbags.
That's true. That's what we fucking need to have 30,000 guns over here. That's true. That's what we need.
Okay. You say police officers are the 17th most dangerous jobs? Well, I'm a bootlicker. Well, bootlicker, easily the 28th most dangerous job. Now I ask you, what's your point? Bootlicking is a dangerous job too, brother. You might get it. You might get some kind of disease from polishing those boots. I think the Republican argument, and it depends on who the president is, and if it was a Democrat who did this, then the Democratic argument would be similar to this, can be reduced to this, okay? You cannot impeach my president no matter what. I'm not making like a brilliant take here. This is not brilliant analysis. This is not even unique. That's pretty much what they're saying always, okay? Like, because if this is not something that you can impeach a person over, then there's nothing you can impeach him over. Like, because the president is not going to literally go out and murder someone, and in which case, like, even if he did, he couldn't be criminally charged. And then you could also make the argument that, like, it's not an impeachable offense because an impeachment is a political trial regardless, right? And that's what that's all that they're doing. Meanwhile, yes, Bill Clinton was impeached for perjuring himself, lying about getting a blowjob. But even then, like, I don't know. It's wild that, like, now that I think about it, because the Clinton stuff, there is way more room to impeach him over, like, the actual acts that took place, the sexual transgressions that took place, rather than, like, lying about getting a blowjob. You know what I mean? But with Donald Trump, like, this is worthwhile. This is worthwhile. This is a absolutely impeachable offense.
We'll take down every one of these corrupt motherfuckers. Hang up!
At least 10 people lost their lives. More than 140 law enforcement officers suffered physical injuries, and many more have been severely impacted by the experiences that day. Oh, no. I'm so sad about the law enforcement officers that were severely impacted. Yeah. I'm sorry, sir. I'm a law enforcement officer, and I'll have you know that I wasn't able to beat the shit out of a disabled activist the next day for protesting for Medicare for all. I am Capitol PD, sir. And I was going to beat the fuck out of a PTSD veteran who was protesting to make sure that he could get benefits that were offered, that were promised to him. And I couldn't tactically ascertain his position and tase him appropriately in the kinetic action that we engaged in. And that is because of the Capitol riots, the insurgency that rendered me incapable. These guys are not normal cops. Yeah, they're still fucking terrible, though. It's kind of wild to assume that these guys aren't terrible. You just haven't been paying attention. Like, Capitol Hill police is not great. Like, they're not fucking nice guys, all right? Unless you've never seen how they behave when it's not fucking friendly fire with, like, hog-on-hog violence, and they're actually beating the fuck out of, like, disabled activists, as I've mentioned before, who are protesting Medicare for all, or Black Lives Matter protesters. I mean, their whole point is like they brutally suppress any sort of demonstration that occurs there. They are maybe a little bit lighter than the normal cops. And maybe they don't maybe they're not surrounded by 14-year-old black kids that they beat the shit out of, or, you know, maybe they don't kill enough dogs in comparison to like a regular precinct. You know what I mean? But they're still cops. And they do cop things. These are the things and events that happen when a sacred landslide election victory is so unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from the great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and peace. Remember this day forever. Yeah, we will fucking remember this day forever, dumbass.
Senators, the president was impeached by the U.S. House of Representatives on January 13th for doing that. You ask what a high crime and misdemeanor is under our Constitution? That's a high crime and misdemeanor. If that's not an impeachable offense, then there is no such thing.
Yeah.
Defending your right to keep.
Here's Donald Trump, who had an opinion on impeaching past presidents after they are out of office. By the way, I got to show you this while I go grab a drink real quick.
We are defending your right to keep the doctor and to keep your plan. Remember President Obama, you can keep your plan, you can keep 28 times, you can keep your doctor. That didn't turn out very good. We should impeach him for that. Why are we impeaching him? 28 times you can keep your doctor. We should impeach President Obama. Democrats are now the party of high taxes, high crime, open borders, late-term abortion, socialism, and blatant corruption. The Republican Party is the party of the American worker, the American family, the American dream, and the late, great Abraham Lincoln, right? Abraham Lincoln. We are defending your right to keep the doctor.
I love that he makes the argument that you should be able to impeach a president after their term is done, right? For what? For what reason? Lying. And then immediately after, he's like, Obama lied, so we should impeach him. He turns around and starts lying immediately, which is hilarious. He's like, we should impeach presidents for lying. And then literally in the same breath starts lying. God, I miss him so much. I miss him so much. Every day. Like, he was such a piece of shit. I wish there was a way to, like, contain him so that his words didn't actually have impact and we could just look at him like performance art. Kind of like Alex Jones. The almost the exact same opinion I have of Alex Jones, where, you know, like, Alex Jones is a brilliant content creator, right? But unfortunately, in a country as fucked as the United States of America, Alex Jones is seen as the leader of a movement. He's seen as a revolutionary. People take him seriously. And that's why we can't have nice things. That's why we can't fucking look and laugh and enjoy Alex Jones, because some of the people that listen to Alex Jones then turn around and do crimes like harassing, doxing, and harming victims of school shootings and their family members. So, like, the same with Donald Trump, where he's a very entertaining reality TV star. He's narcissistic. He embodies everything that makes good TV. He embodies everything that makes good content. Right? But also, people take him seriously, and even more seriously than Alex Jones, because he literally had the bully pulpit. And therefore, they end up doing gross acts of violence and horrific things as they follow his lead. I love when immediately people rush to say, oh, saying I miss Donald Trump is such a privileged take. Yeah, dude. I know. You got me. Okay. I'm super privileged. Okay. I literally mean like I wish Donald Trump was president. That's what I mean. You fucking idiot. Are you happy? You showed everybody how fucking not privileged you are. Okay? Everybody now knows. Here you go. Let's all take a moment and and get excited for how fucking pathetic your life and your existence is. Are you happy, dude? You fucking got it. Woo! I'm glad that things are turning back to the annoying fucking like pre-2016 era where, you know, now that we can't criticize Joe Biden and stuff, now liberals have to clean house by just one-upping people and like getting caught up in the most uncharitable interpretation that things that people on the left say, to say like, oh, you're so privileged, sweaty, you must be homophobic and also hate, like, you know, DACA immigrants or something. Of course, saying that on twitch.tv of all fucking places puts you in the top 0.1% of privilege across the board from a worldwide scale, but who knows? Nature is healing.
For abuses he committed as an official, arising from an impeachment that occurred while he was an official, poses absolutely no risk whatsoever of subjecting a private citizen to impeachment for their private conduct. To emphasize the point, President Trump was impeached while he was in office for conduct in office, period. The alternative, once again, is this January exception, in which our most powerful officials can commit the most terrible abuses and then resign to leave office and suddenly claim that they're just a private citizen who can't be held accountable at all. In the same vein, President Trump and his lawyers argue that he shouldn't be impeached because it will set a bad precedent for impeaching others.
Yeah, it would be a bad precedent to impeach a president for doing an insurrection. So that would be a bad precedent. And therefore, we can't do it in the future. That would be something bad. It's like saying you'd be setting a bad precedent for jailing me after I murdered someone. What the fuck do you mean? You murdered someone, idiot. Like, we can talk about rehabilitation over incarceration, but like, you still need to be contained, dumbass. There has to be some fucking accountability. What is this? I thought we were a fucking nation of laws, dude.
That we shall ever unlimber the clumsy and bulky monster piece of ordnance to take aim at an object from which all danger has gone by, end quote. President Trump's case, though,
come on, think about all the times that I didn't murder.
Has not gone by. His threat to democracy makes any prior abuse by any government official pale in comparison. Moreover, allowing his conduct to pass without the most decisive response would itself create an extraordinary danger to the nation, inviting further abuse of power and signaling that the Congress of the United States is unable or unwilling to respond to insurrection incited by the president.
I mean, come on, though. Like, now that he has no fucking power, how sweet would it be if we could get some Trump tweets right now? God, I'm an addict. I am an addict. I have to admit. Like, I need a little bit. I need just a little tiny hit, dude. Just a baby hit. And then I'm done. I'm done.
This is the rare case in which love of the Constitution and commitment to our democracy required the House to impeach. It's for the same reason the Senate can and must try this case. Next, President Trump will assert that it somehow is significant or it matters that the Chief Justice isn't presiding over this trial.
Will Republicans mention that this is cancel culture? That's what I want to know. Will they fucking bring out the cancel culture defense for this of all things? Because you know they're already doing this is unconstitutional, which is a classic defense. Going against Republicans means you're unconstitutional, okay? They own patriotism, they own the Constitution, they own the military, okay? And going against those things means, or going against Republicans means you literally hate God, hate the military, and hate the American Constitution. Just know that. So I wonder, because they kind of also have successfully crafted the narrative that like everything the left engages in is technically cancel culture sweaty. I wonder if they'll be able to do that. Like, everyone deserves a mulligan.
So there isn't that concern when you have a former president on trial, or for that matter, when you have anyone on trial other than the current president, which is why the Chief Justice presides only in that single case, and why this is exactly the presiding officer the Constitution and the Senate rules require. As a fallback, President Trump and his lawyers may argue today that he should get a free pass on inciting an armed insurrection against the United States government and endangering Congress because, as he would put it, this impeachment is somehow unconstitutional. So far as I understand it from reading the pleadings in this case, this defense involves cobbling together a bunch of meritless legal arguments, all of them attempting to focus on substance rather than jurisdiction, and insisting that these kitchen sink objections lead the Senate to not try the case. Since they may raise these points at this juncture, I feel obliged really to address them. He may argue, for example, that he didn't receive enough process in the House, even though the House proceedings are more like a grand jury action, which is followed later by trial in the Senate with a full presentation of evidence. Even though the evidence of his high crimes and misdemeanors is overwhelming and supported by a huge public record, even though we're going to put that evidence before you at this trial, and even though have a full and fair opportunity to respond to it before all of you.
It feels strange that as a political
Even
frog, I find myself wanting RP gaming now over politics.
Have already been charged for their role in attacks that the president incited. And even though we invited him to voluntarily come here and testify and tell his story, a request, as you know, that his lawyers immediately refused, presumably because they understood what would happen if he were to testify under oath. Regardless, President Trump's process arguments are not only wrong on their own terms, but they're also completely irrelevant to the question of whether you should hold this trial. That question is answered by the Constitution, and the answer is yes. In addition, separate from his due process complaints, President Trump and his counsel, particularly his counsel, have boasted on TV that to counter the undisputed evidence of what actually happened in this case, you'll see video clips. They'll show video clips of other politicians, including Democratic politicians, using what they consider incendiary language. Apparently, they think this will establish some sort of equivalency, or that it will show in contrast that President Trump's statements at the Save America rally weren't so bad. Like so much of what President Trump's lawyers might say today, that's a gimmick. It's a parlor game meant to inflame partisan hostility and play on our divisions. So let me be crystal clear. President Trump was not impeached because the words he used, viewed in isolation, without context, were beyond the pale. Plenty of other politicians have used strong language. But Donald J. Trump was president of the United States. He sought to overturn a presidential election that had been upheld by every single court to consider it. He spent months insisting to his base that the only way he could lose was a dangerous, wide-ranging conspiracy against them and America itself. He relentlessly...
Okay, this is boring. All right, so let's go to something actually fun and funny. Marjorie Taylor Greene. As the impeachment trial starts, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is just a fucking queen, dude. You have to admit, she's just a queen, all right? My new queen. Rips the Capitol rioters who ruined the objection plans. She said that actually she was very upset, scared, and terrified on January 6th, which is great. I love that. This person is so awesome. She is such a fucking scumbag, dude. She is such a fucking scumbag, dude. Marjorie Taylor Queen, dude. Oh my lord. She's like I was wondering if there's another person that would trigger something within me like Matt Gaetz does. That fucking used car salesman Matt Gaetz, who he just literally, they just like look evil for some fucking weird reason. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is that person, okay? She is just the fucking worst. Like, just a unique specimen, okay? And now she's saying, after she was voted to be removed from her committee positions by the Democrats in a gross attack against democracy, of course, she said that she would be forever grateful to her Republican colleagues who bravely helped the police protect us and block the door. They courageously risked their lives against the attackers trying to get in. Like, now she is standing in opposition with the attackers. Dog, if you were not fucking elected, because America is a fucking broken country fundamentally, if you were not elected, you would literally be leading that insurrection from outside the house. Okay? Let's be real. Marjorie Taylor Greene and that fucking Boebert chick from Colorado are the two, like, they are the two prime candidates for flying in. They have disposable income. They're small business tyrants. They want to fuck Donald Trump, which is very weird. It's the weirdest thing you can ever fucking ever see. They are the prime candidates for being caught at that insurrection. Okay? Someone called her a joke in front of her face? Oh, yeah, I remember this. This is an old one.
You are a joke. Have a good one. Have a good one. You are a joke.
Like, this staffer, like, you're like 26 years old, okay? You went to fucking Cornell. You got a political science degree. Your father plays golf with some, your father's in the same golf club with some other fucking Republican senators and shit. So then you get a goddamn fucking job with Marjorie Taylor Greene, okay? And now this is what you have to do with your life. What a fucking loser, okay? Jesus Christ. Like, you have to fucking shove cameras away from random people. You have to defend Marjorie Taylor Greene. Like, that is now your job. How pathetic. You fucking loser. And here's the reality. Nothing is going to happen to her. She's probably going to keep rolling forward. She's probably going to fail upwards. Because Republicans don't care. If you're a winner, it doesn't matter how much of a scumbag you are. It doesn't matter what you believe in. As long as you're a fucking winner, you're fine. I'm living in Boebert's district temporarily on my dad's house in Colorado. Her district is beautiful, but so many hoggers. Really? Of course. Like, what are the events that took place in your life to lead you down a path where you're getting mad at, like, 18-year-old congressional staffers and, like, pushing cameras away in an effort to defend your hobbit congressional representative that you work for?
You are a joke. Have a good one. Have a good one. You are a joke. I'm looking forward to Ossoff winning. I do appreciate America.
Hey, now, jobs aren't easy to come by these days. I mean, first of all, if you're on the fucking Hill, those jobs are only given to people that have that are there to, that have been bred for that position. Okay, like, they are literally the definition of easy to come by. Those jobs are. There is not a there's more nepotism there than fucking Hollywood, dude. Are you kidding me? Are you out of your mind, dude? You think you can get a fucking staffer job like that? No, those jobs, you only get those jobs if your dad plays golf with like the Secretary of State or some shit. Yeah, just go to Indeed.com and then scale up to 68,000. Green is a bigger delta than you, bro, and maybe a smaller head. Okay, don't do the fucking phrenology shit. Yes, she has that thick Neanderthal skull, but that's besides the point. She does, though. She got that fucking the what is it, like the Cro-Magnon or whatever? What is it called when you got that fucking crazy forehead? Oh, I like gun. I like shooting gun. I hate socialism. Me, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Me strong. Me shoot. Me shoot gun. Me scared of Muslim lady. That's what she sounds like. Anyway, what a fucking loser. Oh, God. Wow, this guy's still going.
Once all the evidence is before you by delivering justice. Thank you.
Me like gun. Fire stick good. Be careful. Marjorie Taylor Queen will start insulting you on Twitter. What's she going to do? I've called her fucking inbred multiple times on Twitter before.
About the stakes of this decision, whether President Trump can stand trial and be held to account for inciting insurrection against us.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is more fucking inbred than Moon Moon's character in No Pixel RP.
The Capitol Police, the Washington, D.C. Metropolitan Police, the National Guard, maintenance and custodial crews, the print journalists and TV people who were here, and all of our families and friends. And I hope this trial reminds America how personal democracy is, and how personal is the loss of democracy, too. Distinguished members of the Senate, my youngest daughter, Tabitha, was there with me on Wednesday, January 6th.
Officer Hawk to you, bud.
It was the day after we buried her brother, our son, Tommy, the saddest day of our lives. Also, there was my son.
Okay, I don't care. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's sad. I don't care. I'm gonna keep it real. I like the situation is as ridiculous as it is. Like, you don't have to fucking like. Just stop. They're politicians. Stop. I'm sorry. No, it's like. Look. I don't know why they're talking about this stuff. I think, like, I'm not saying that it's I don't care that their son died. I'm saying, like, I don't care about the fucking trial at this stage. Okay? You understand? Stop trying to like tie that back to the personal trauma that he is going through when I'm talking about the Senate impeachment process and what he's talking about in that process. Like, when you want a cooking recipe with a person's life stories in front of it, yeah, I just don't know. Doesn't care because Trump will win. Yeah, dude, it's great. Trump will always win because there's always fucking moronic fans that think he won regardless of what happens. Like, what do you mean Trump will win? Trump lost already. Like, he lost the election. He took the most L's, like record-breaking number of L's, because it's like he lost the election over and over again. Every time he contested it and then he lost in court, it's like he took 64